Good Thursday evening, high school sports fans. Joe Gillaway with Lingelstown Gazette Sports live from the Orchard Street studio. And this is episode number 9 of our new podcast, Gazette Sports Chat, where we'll get to know participants from various realms of the high school sports world. The student athletes who play the games, the coaches who coach them, and others connected in different ways to the entire experience. We'll introduce you to tonight's guests in just a moment, as soon as we're done thanking those responsible for bringing you tonight's show, our Lingelstown Gazette Sports Platinum sponsors. And they are Rickabah's Electric, Payor Apparel, Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial Wealth Management, Tire Mart, Team PA AAU Basketball, Tonino's Pizza, American Legion Post 272, Hoffman Ford, Capital Region Insurance Agency, Modern Imprint, Sam Hartley Decking, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, and Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. Thanks to all those great local businesses for their continued support of Lingelstown Gazette Sports and our area's student athletes. Upcoming on Gazette Sports Chat this coming Monday, we have the captains for the Central Dauphin girls soccer team, and they are Caden Williams, Katie Reynolds, and Erica Murphy. These girls have earned a lot of hardware over the last couple years. State champs 2 years ago, district champs last year. They're currently undefeated, so they've earned their way on the show, that's for sure. We're looking forward to that one. Then we got two legendary coaches from long ago, from back in the 60s through the 80s. Coach Jim Deibler and Mickey Minnick will be on together. They are good friends. They coach together. That will be Tuesday the 24th. Again, we got every Sunday we're going to be doing a recap show, high school football recap show, 6 o'clock. Again, this coming Sunday, we'll recap week 4. And then we are sourcing, meaning we are looking to put together a show with Harrisburg Cougars football players. And we've just kind of spent the last week or so back and forth with Coach Everett, but we will get it together and get them in here. So anyway, tonight's guests are 4 members of one of only 5 remaining undefeated Mid-Penn Conference football teams who are tied at the top of the conference's Commonwealth Division. They are all integral parts of a turnaround for a program that just 4 seasons ago did not win a single game. Their team is coming off a nail-biter that went down to the final minutes before a mixed extra point sealed their victory. I'm talking about the Central Dauphin East, a.k.a. East High Panthers, and their group of senior leaders, DEMAJ, JALLOH, Jared Porter, Santana Young, and Leon Parsons. Welcome, fellas. Glad to have you on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
How was practice? Who wants to talk about practice before we get started here? DEMAJ, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Practice was good today. We've been working really hard this week. You know, we can't underestimate Carlisle at all.
No, I don't think the Commonwealth Division, and you guys have played in it, so you know. I'm not teaching you anything here, but I don't think you can underestimate teams in the Commonwealth Division.
No, sir.
I mean, like last week, you know, I expect Cumberland Valley to be a pretty good team, and they only beat Altoona by 13, 13-0. So when you step on the field against the Commonwealth Division, and Cedar Cliff's brand new. I mean, I don't think anybody knew what to expect out of them, but they played a good game. They made you work, and I think in the end, that's going to help you guys. You can't just keep blowing teams out week after week. It's a lot of fun to blow teams out, but if you do that week after week after week, and then you run into a really good team, you may not know how to finish off a game.
Yes, sir.
So how about Jared Porter? You're a returning All-State player.
Yes, sir.
And not many people get to be All-State players, that's for sure. And I know you're a team leader here. You and DEMAJ, actually, this is your 3rd year of productivity. I mean, you guys 2 years ago in 2022, you guys both were DEMAJ. You were getting snaps through a lot of passes. Jared, you got to run the ball a lot. What's the difference? Or tell me about the kind of the way that this program has moved along since 2022, from where you were then. You finished 3-7, 4-6 last year, to where you are today, 3-0.
Well, Maj should piggyback off of me, but I feel like we connect better. We have a better connection with each other. We hang out with each other more. We just do things as a team now. The last 2 years, we weren't put together as much. So I just say we're really put together, just do things as a team, as a brotherhood.
DEMAJ, you want to answer the same question?
Yes, I feel like just our connection, just like Jared said, like we're all connected. Like even when Santana and Leon they transferred in, we're all together. And I feel like also Coach Dean, what he's been building, like
For sure.
we've all been preaching the same goals since he came in his first year here. We all been preaching the same goals.
I think Coach Dean, and I've known him, well enough. We've talked over the years. I think he's exercised a lot of patience.
For
I
sure.
think he knew there's no magic wand. You can't come into any sports program and just wave a wand and all of a sudden you guys are, go from, let's just say 3-7 to 10-1. And it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And he knows that, you got to get the guys to buy in. And I like that answer, Jared, because most of the people that I ask that same question to, they say the same things. We go out for pizza. We hang out on the weekends. It's not just showing up for practice and games and then it ends there,
Yeah.
So let's talk about this is the first time this program's been 3-0 in 7 years. And you started with a 40-6 win in the York Rose Bowl. Talk about Leon, talk about participating in the Rose Bowl down there, what that was like, because that's a group of exclusive games.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not going to see slouches down there. Those teams are picked for a reason, all of them. What was it like participating in that showcase?
It was pretty good. It was great, Like we had to come down there, like we were ready to prove ourselves to, everyone like think it was gonna be like I don't know how to say, but like a surprise. Like they thought we were all gonna like struggle and everything our first game, but we came out and had something to prove.
I didn't think you were going to struggle. I was okay. I was rooting for you guys in Susquehanna Township. I mean, you guys are representing our area, and you both came back with big wins. Santana, this is your first year on this team. Came in from Trinity, and I kind of have to ask this question: what's the difference in the speed and physicality between the Capital and the Commonwealth Division? Okay, let's just compare. For instance, like Boiling Springs, Middletown, and Camp Hill versus the three teams you've already played, York, Chambersburg, and Cedar Cliff.
It's just the speed of the game, and everything coming at you is 10 times faster. You have to be where your feet is at all times, no matter what.
Doesn't look like it's bothered you a bit, though.
Nah, it really hasn't, but
yeah, I mean, a lot of times, I don't know about a lot, but sometimes you'll see a player kind of go into an environment that's a lot more challenging, and it shows.
yes.
And I've watched you, and it doesn't look like it showed for you. I mean, you just kind of ramped up your game because you had to, and you're one of the top receivers in the area. You having fun out there?
Yes, I am. I just think my coaches, since I came, they just have faith in everything that I can do, and they just build, and they help me get better, and they help.
He got something to prove this year.
Yes, for sure. You had 4 receptions for 120 yards. That's some gaudy numbers there, Santana, and a receiving touchdown. And let me run down some of these other gaudy numbers that you guys had. Leon, out of the backfield, 13 carries for 147 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. And then DEMAJ, just for those at home that don't know, the quarterback, 11 of 18 for 233 yards in the air, 2 passing touchdowns. And I'm going to tell you the figure that your coaches were probably most happy with, 0 interceptions, right? DEMAJ, do they like that figure?
Yes.
That's what they call a clean game for a quarterback. That's a really clean game. I'm going to ask you first. And, let's just get this out of the way. Jared, you're nursing an injury, okay?
Sure.
And we don't need to get into it too much, but I think the viewers are going to wonder, like, this guy's all state. And what were his stats last week?
Yeah.
Well, you're probably just supporting your team right now, right?
Oh, for sure.
And being a captain, being a senior, being a leader, and just wait until it's your turn to get back on the field.
Sure. Being the
Leon,
biggest leader I can be, but
oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. I've known about you for a few years now, from adults that know that your level of dedication,
yes, sir.
and what a great young man you are. You're also a wrestler. I don't know if you're still going to be able to do that or not, but
Yes, sir.
good. Yeah, there's no mystery that wrestlers seem to play football very well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did
Yes,
you ever
sir.
tell your teammates that? Because it's true.
I tried to tell them to come out, but they want to be soft and play basketball.
It's
So.
it's kind of not a lot of fun all the time being on a
I'm telling
wrestling
you.
team, right?
I'm telling you.
Leon, talk about your offensive line. You know, we have skill position players here with us tonight. You know, you guys are all skill position players, but that didn't all happen without a really good offensive line.
Yeah, like it's like I trust them a lot. You know, they may not be the biggest and all, but like they're very athletic and physical. Like when we get that going, we can have a really good run game.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they were busting some big holes open for you guys. I watched the whole game, and you know, you guys had all those numbers and all those yards and touchdowns because of everybody being on the same page.
Yes.
You know, and DEMAJ, talk about your receivers, because you have to have receivers that you know, not only fast and can catch the ball, they got to know how to run the routes. They have to be good downfield blockers. You know, we know Santana's having a great year, but besides Santana, who else do you got out there?
Just to mention a few, we have Demir Maxwell. He's good. He's a great player for us. He's physical in the run game. He's blocked for his teammates great. He can catch the ball. He could do it all. Also, we have Caleb Duncan. He's a senior this year. He's good in the slot. We have Amir Lamel. He's only a sophomore. He's next up for sure. He's next up. And we also have Zach Brown. He's our tight end and linebacker. He's a great tight end. He's like Mr. Reliable. And I'm looking for him like in the crunch time. He's there.
So you got weapons, right?
For sure. We got weapons all over the board, sir.
I guess Santana, I got to mention your uncle, Jeremiah, okay?
Yes.
Because, and when he was playing, you were probably just born, right?
Yes.
I have this Steel High helmet right here over my shoulder.
Uh-huh.
I bought it at an auction. It was advertised as Jeremiah Young's helmet, and when I finally met him, he said it wasn't his helmet. So I got away with advertising it as his helmet for a while. But we started Lincolnstown Gazette Sports about 8 years ago. He was the second person I ever interviewed. So I know Jeremiah, an awesome young man,
Yes.
older man to you, of course. But what's Jeremiah? First of all, let me say this: Jeremiah. He rushed for 9,027 yards in 4 years at Steel High, 2 state championships in 07 and 08. Do you believe in genetics? Because I do. I think athleticism runs in the family.
Yeah, I say my uncle, he's been a big stepping stone in everything that I've done. He's the one that told me that I should leave Trinity and go to East and be productive of where I can be at. And I think it was one of the best changes I've ever made to help me for my future.
Well, it's certainly, we just discussed it a few minutes ago. It's certainly a little more challenging. And, you know, if you want to play at the next level, I think you're going to get probably a little more exposure here and you know, just be able to showcase your skills a little better. One of the things I don't usually ever talk about athletes when it's high school athletes without saying student first. So you guys are student athletes to me. And Jared, you accepted a Division I scholarship to University of Delaware. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What a great school. I mean, you
Yes,
know
sir.
that. That's a great school. It's just far enough away that you can get the heck out of town, but your family can still come see you. You can
Yes,
come
sir.
home when you want to. And it's a great academic school. Talk about, and this is important for people watching, whether it's younger kids that play sports or parents that are going to go through the process. Talk a little bit about the recruiting process. You know, where did it start? How many schools did you have interested in you? Because I know it wasn't just Delaware.
Yes,
and what ended up happening that you said, you know, mom and dad or whoever you had to talk about it with or coach, I think Delaware's the school. Talk about that a bit.
Well, there is a lot that goes into it. You got to figure out what's in the depth chart, how many players are in the room. There's a lot that goes into it. So I just broke it down to am I able to start as a freshman? Am I able to play? Like, do they have playing time? What else? There's just a lot. When I went down there, I just felt like at home. I just love the team so much. I love the campus, the environment, everything. Actually, I just got off the phone before this with Coach Cardi, the head coach. He was just checking up on me, but they just check up on you, do whatever they got to do to make sure you're good in school first, and then on the football field. So they just make you feel at home.
Yeah, the good ones, the good coaches, it's like they have a new son. you know,
For sure.
and they're not going to sign you and then desert you. You know, I'm sure that he stays in contact with you, and he's probably really excited to get you on campus next year.
Yes.
What are you going to major in?
Sports management. So I want to be an athletic director.
Oh, do you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a great job right
Yes,
there.
sir.
Well, if you want to do sports management, you ever get any time, you can work with me as
sure.
as an intern. Do what
I
I
got
do.
you.
It's a lot
Yes,
of fun,
sir.
believe me.
Yes, sir.
Who else out of the three remaining guests here? Who else wants to play college football?
I plan on playing college football after
I
this
think we all
season.
three do.
All
Yes.
three of you? I kind of
Yes.
figured that. Where are y'all? Let's go back up to Leon. Where are you in the process?
I'd say like I'm getting like a lot of interest from schools, but like the year before, the reason I don't have really any offers is because like I had no film. Like I know I played a lot, but like I had no film coming out from the games, which like really suffered for me a lot.
But you're getting some now, though, right?
Yes, sir.
How about you? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Did I cut somebody off there?
Nah.
How about you, DEMAJ?
I feel like I'm in the same, kind of in the same boat as Leon. Like I have film, but it's not like great film. You know, I feel like this is the year like a make or break me.
Do you play any other positions, or are you going to be are you dedicated to quarterback?
No, sir, I'm dedicated to quarterback.
Okay. And Santana, how about you?
My recruitment has skyrocketed, I'd say. I talked to a lot of coaches now, but a lot of coaches, I'm just trying to find out like which ones to actually talk to and communicate with my coaches to see what the best options are for me. I don't really know yet where I want to go or what is en route for me, but as long as I can get into college for free and obtain my degree, I'll be fine.
These boys live, so that's what they got to do.
That was phenomenal. You said the interest has skyrocketed. That was the best word you could have possibly used, because that's what happens. You know, you have a couple big breakout games and they see your speed and all that. All of a sudden, everything changes. And I was not that athlete. I'm not saying I know from experience, but I'm around this culture a lot. And it doesn't take long until people are able to recognize, man, we got to take a look at this guy and see what we can do to bring him in. Let's talk about Jared, the energy at East High. I mean, there's nothing more that'll energize a student body, your teachers, your administrators, than winning. Okay, I know that. That doesn't mean they don't like you when you're losing. Yeah. Okay, but they just like things a lot better when you're winning. What's the school like right now?
I say everyone's starting to creep back on our side since we started winning, but we just stand in the moment. We got to keep our eyes focused on the goal. That's the state championship, but day by day, win the day that Coach Dean says. But yeah, we got to keep our eyes on the prize, one day at a time.
Yeah, why not you? Why not you be a state champion? You know, that's a great goal. You know, I don't think that there's anything wrong with having that goal, because you're definitely one of the top teams in the Commonwealth. You know, you get through the Commonwealth, you get yourself a nice seed in the District 3, one game at a time. I'm not trying to get ahead here, but I really like to hear that's the team's goal. And I'm sure that Coach Dean does keep you kind of tightly wound when you're just looking at Carlisle right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Santana, what do you know about Carlisle? What do they bring?
They bring a punch. You know, it's not a team that you can sleep on.
For sure.
Any team in our conference, you can't sleep on. So we're just taking it week by week, and we plan on going 1-0 as always.
Now, do you have one of those teams at the beginning of the season you kind of circle? And I'm not trying to get you to tick anybody off or start any crap. In, locker room, they call it locker room fodder. But is there that one team that you guys look at as your rivalry team?
Yo, Maj, you got this one.
Maj?
Whoever's in the state championship.
Okay, all right. That's a good answer. I won't go any further. I seriously was not getting you guys to incite anything there. But, sometimes it's the district rivalry. Sometimes it's the crosstown rivalry. I'm sure you guys, and I'll speak for you. I don't have to agree. I'm sure you don't like Harrisburg a whole lot. I'm sure you don't like Central Dauphin a whole lot. There's probably a handful of teams that you'd really like to get. And that's good. That's good. Nobody wants to go through a 10-game regular season without really caring about winning some games,
Sure.
Yes.
So, okay, we know Jared is a wrestler, a good wrestler. Anybody else play any other sports?
I plan on playing basketball. I'm not quite sure I'm gonna do it yet.
I told him come wrestle, but he want to go be soft and play basketball. So.
Yeah, wrestling's not fun. It's not glamorous, man. But I'm sure that people see the results. Your teammates have to see the results with you on the field. I mean, ideally, when I was growing up, a lot of the football players, they wrestled and they ran track and field. And then kind of the track and field and the wrestling were the supportive sports. You know, they helped you with your conditioning and your strength and all that. Anybody run track?
I did.
Do you? Okay.
We all did.
Yeah, we all did a little bit.
I'm sure that my friend, athletic director Dwan Lee, would like to see you guys go out for track and field.
For sure.
I know that that's one of the sports that he'd like to take a special interest in and kind of try to build up is the East High track and field team or program. So I was on a conversation the other night with a couple other guys that kind of do what I do. And we were talking about, there's kind of, I think you can draw a line right up the middle of the Commonwealth. And we know that any team can knock off any team. Okay. We do know that, but I think the top five and you guys have edged your way up. And this is in no particular order. Harrisburg, you got to mention them first because they're the defending champs, but Harrisburg State College, Cumberland Valley, McDevitt, and I think East High. I don't know, no particular order. You've only played one of those teams. What's the final 3 weeks of the season going to be like? I know I just said let's not get ahead of ourselves, but you guys have to stay healthy. I mean, is that something you're looking forward to? Is a State College, McDevitt, and Harrisburg High 3 games in a row?
It's something we're excited about, but it's something we're not worried about.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Let me tell you something, Santana. You could go the whole way around the state. There's over 500 teams in this state. I don't know if another team in the state is going to have 3 back-to-back games as challenging as that. I mean, that's some serious. But you guys, the good news is you have plenty of times to kind of, get your skills, get together as a team, work on your strength, work on, your offense, your defense, and so it's probably better off that you have a little bit of time to get yourselves to that point. Leon, talk a little bit about playing for Coach Lance Dean.
It's great. It's like he really cares for me, and like he wants to see me in my best, like be able to perform all the time.
Yeah, he's not a whole heck of a lot older than you guys, really. I mean, to you guys he is because he's definitely a grown-up. He's an adult. He does adult things. He has an adult job. But, I think it's probably pretty cool for you guys to have a coach that's really that young, that you guys could probably feel like you can connect with. I mean, he's a serious dude. I'm not trying to say that he's in their locker room just playing around with you guys like he's a kid. Yeah. But is it cool having a coach that's that young that you can really connect with?
Yes, sir. I feel like our whole coaching staff is young, so we can really connect to them how we would if we're talking to if I'm talking to DEMAJ. So they really understand what we're trying to break down and say to them. So
yeah, I've met a few of your coaches, and man, you guys are blessed to have these guys.
Oh yeah.
We had Coach Scott on one of our other shows, and I was very impressed with him. He was a great guest, and I went away thinking, man, that school is lucky, very fortunate to have him as a coach. And I know that there's a few more that I've met that I just thought Lance Dean is doing a great job with assembling wonderful guys.
Yes, sir. They put a lot of time and effort into us, so we can't let them down.
Yes.
So, Jared, talk about East High, going to East High. Let's just take the football part and push that the whole way out of the way. Being a student at East High, the school itself, your classmates, the student body. What's it like being a student there?
I mean, there could be a lot of distractions, females, stuff like that, off task, but you just got to keep your eyes on the prize. If you want to make it to school, you got to have your grades first. So you got to keep your eyes on the prize, do what you got to do in the classroom, get stuff done.
How's everybody pretty committed to your studies? I mean, I don't think we're talking about Coach Dean. I don't think he's looking the other way when it comes to your studies. I think he's going to make sure that he stays on top of things, that you stay on top of things.
Like I said, he puts a lot into us, so we have mandatory study halls 3 days a week, so it's mandatory. We have to be there, make sure our grades is on point. So there's no excuse for us to have anything below a 78.
Yeah,
minimum.
that's good. That's a
Yeah,
good minimum. I've had kids tell me we're not allowed to get Fs,
Yeah,
or,
for
or we have to keep a 70 or whatever. A 78. That's working hard in the classroom
Yeah.
because we're not all great at every class. That's
Mhm.
a fact.
Mhm.
What about hate to go down this path, but Santana, what's your favorite class? Do you have any classes that you enjoy? Kind of
I'll
come easy
say
to you, or
I'll say my favorite class right now is African American Studies.
Yeah.
yeah, that's I'm glad the school has it. It's
Yes.
an important class, and that's a class that I would take if I had the opportunity, if I was still in school when they had it. That was,
Yes.
I think we were so far away, and I'm not an old man, but we were so far away when I went to school from having a class like that, and I'm so glad that you guys do, and that that you can learn about things that otherwise you probably wouldn't know about.
Yes.
How about you, DEMAJ? What are your favorite classes or favorite class?
I usually like history, but this year I'll say I like anatomy.
Oh my, that sounds tough. Wow. Okay, we're learning something about DEMAJ. He's no dummy, that's for sure.
Nah.
That's a very scientific class. I mean,
Yeah,
anatomy is
for sure.
that's no joke. That's not like gym or math. Leon, how about you? Any class that you like?
I say the same as Marge, anatomy too.
Are you guys in the same class together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. How about we already learned what Jared wants to do once he gets out of school. Do you guys do any of you? And if you don't, that's fine. You have the rest of your life to figure it out. Anybody have any plans on what they want to do with kind of after you get your degree once you get out in the workforce? Santana.
Yes.
I plan on being in sports medicine.
Okay.
So if like the NFL route doesn't work out after college, I plan on going to be a athletic trainer.
And
And
I'm
then from
glad you
there, after I'm done being an athletic trainer, I plan on being a head coach somewhere or an
then you
assistant
better
coach.
get in that anatomy class, bud, because that's no walk in the park. That's a challenging. That could be a very fulfilling career for you. And I'm
Yes.
glad you said if the NFL doesn't work out, because you know Chase Edmonds, of course, Central Dauphin East graduate.
Yes.
I don't think that he was on the fast track to the NFL when he was a senior at East High.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe to him he was, but he really had to work and grind and grind and work once he went off to college. So, to have that as a goal, I love hearing that. Somebody's got to play in the NFL. Why not Santana Young? So that's a great answer. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
So let's talk about what else. Do you guys like playing at Landis Field? What's the environment like on a Friday night?
That's our house, so
Right.
that's all I had to say, Maj. Leon.
Go ahead,
Did you
Leon.
did you yank it away from Central Dauphin?
Oh, that's
It's
our
not.
house. I'm
It's not
telling
their.
you.
Yes.
It's not their house
Yes.
anymore.
Yes.
That's our
Okay.
house.
No, it's a nice stadium though. Is it getting loud in there?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
I'll ask DEMAJ because you've been. You were under center two years ago, and does it seem that there's more energy and more spirit and more noise 2 years later than there was when you were a sophomore?
Oh yes, for sure. I was even joking about it with like the like students in the school around the school. I was like, can we have a student section? I feel like we showing out now. Like we're showing out way more than we did in 2 years.
Yeah,
We
you
just gotta
gotta
keep
have
going.
you gotta have a student section. I believe strongly in that. So talk about DEMAJ. Talk about your offensive coordinator a little bit. I mean, obviously, as a quarterback, you want to throw the ball. That's kind of what you're back there for, at least in the quarterback's eyes. He doesn't want to hand the ball off 40 times. Do you have a lot of confidence in your offensive game plan?
Oh yes, for sure. I just feel like I trust Coach Dean. We have like multiple. It's not even like just one offensive coordinator for real. Because Coach Dean calls the plays. Um, Coach Eric McGovern, he calls plays. Coach Sean Jones, they all just like put together a great game plan for us to succeed. And off of that, like I don't really care about passing the ball. I care about it But like as long as we win, I'm cool with it. If that means handing the ball off to Leon 30 times, I'm cool with that.
Great answer. And I asked you that question because you guys had me confused. I mean, the play calling against Cedar Cliff was really good.
Mhm.
Just when I thought you were going to run, you pass. Just when I thought you were going to pass, you run. And that's how you call a good game. You have to make the defense think that they have it figured out when they really don't.
Mhm.
So what we're going to transition to here now is something we call keeping it light. Okay. We're going to kind of wind down a little bit here. And these are going to be questions that have nothing to do with football, nothing to do with East High. All the stuff we just talked about, that was kind of the meat and potatoes of the show. So I'm going to ask you questions that we're going to learn a little bit more about DEMAJ, Leon, Jared, and Santana here. Let's start with DEMAJ. Favorite musical artist?
I would have to say Lil Durk.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jared, what's your favorite musical artist?
All right. Well, I'll say Janae Aiko.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Leon?
I say Lil Baby.
Little Baby. How about Santana?
I say Drake.
Drake? Okay. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Drake. Okay. Let's go back up to DEMAJ. Favorite meal? Let's just say it's your birthday. Somebody's going to take you out and say, we'll go wherever you want, get your favorite meal. What's that going to be?
My favorite meal, I had to say wings. Well, it's definitely Underdog's wings are good too.
Oh, man. They're so good.
We go there a lot.
I just had them on Sunday. Yeah, they're so good. How about Leon? Favorite dessert? You like sweets?
Of course. I'd probably say I like lava cake. Lava cake.
Oh, that's good. You got to put that in the microwave for like 30 seconds. You know that, right? You got to heat that up a little bit, get the chocolate dripping a little bit. Hannah, how about do you like hot sauce?
Yes.
What
Not
hot
too
sauce?
much though, 'cause I get heartburn.
I picked the wrong guy again for the hot sauce question. Jared, do you like hot sauce?
A little bit.
Okay, well,
A little bit.
I like to ask people what their go-to hot sauce is, but
Red
if
Hot
you-
though. Red Hot original.
that's you can't go wrong.
Yep. You can't go wrong with
you
that.
cannot go wrong. Has just enough kind of vinegar flavor in there, and it's not overbearing. That's I'm with you there. Jared, favorite candy?
Well, I like hot tamales.
Oh my God.
I like hot. They hate them, but I love them. I gotta love them.
That's like an elderly person candy.
Listen, my brother put me onto them, so I just gotta stick with them.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
How about DEMAJ? Favorite sports team? It can't be East
Pittsburgh
High football.
Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. What are they going to do this year? They have a chance to kind of turn things around a little bit, you think?
Hopefully.
Who do you want to be the quarterback? Who do you hope that kind of falls into that position?
Russell Wilson, because he's like more experienced.
Yeah, you better believe that. That's for sure. Leon, do you have a favorite actor or actress?
Not really. I don't really like get into like actors and stuff. I really just like the movies.
What about a favorite movie? Is there a movie that you like?
I like The Blind Side.
What is it?
The Blind Side.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And how about Santana, favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? I'll say Shangri-La. It's the
Shangri-La.
yes. You know where it's at? It's right by the firehouse.
I know where it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like Asian food then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There's some exotic stuff.
Okay. So Jared, let's go outside of sports. What's your
All right.
favorite? What's a hobby or pastime that you like? Something that people would be like, "Wow, I wouldn't imagine he'd like that."
I like taking walks. I told them Coach Dean did like a little get together and they asked what do we like to do. I like taking walks. So I go in the green belt sometimes. I go with my dog. We just go take a walk.
My man, I walk 6.5 miles at least every morning.
I don't do that, but I do walk
At least I just walk 6.5 miles. I go to Wildwood Park, uptown Harrisburg, there, right off of Lingelstown Road. It's a really nice. Go there sometime. It's cool to hang out with your boys, take a girl there. It's just a great place to walk. A lot of nature and so okay. Let's wind this down. Let me grab one more question for each of you. I'm going to go back to DEMAJ's favorite Girl Scout cookie.
I don't know what they call. I think it's the mint one though. The mint.
The thin mint.
Thin Mints.
Yes, the Thin Mint.
You can't go wrong with the Thin Mints. Okay. I'm going to ask this question. Here's the question that nobody likes. Okay. Leon, you might not want to be my friend after this one. Favorite book? Do you have a book that you've read that you really enjoyed?
There is this book I'm reading called Power and stuff. It's more like about like later on in life, you know, like future things you want to do, like financial things, all that.
My man handled that like a champ. I've interviewed teachers that have master's degrees or doctorates, and they can't come up with a favorite book. So good job, Leon. All right, let's go back to Santana. Bucket list item. You know what a bucket list item is? What do you want to do someday that you've never done? It could be next month, next year, 10 years from now. What would you like that to be?
I want to go to Hawaii and see the Jurassic Park exhibit.
Oh, that's a great bucket list item.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go finish things up here with Jared. This has been fun. You guys have done a great time. I didn't really catch anybody kind of off guard or anything like that. All-time favorite athlete, any sport.
I gotta go with the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, he's.
I can't do that to my team. So.
Are you a KC fan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Well.
Yes, sir.
It's really hard to find anybody better than Patrick Mahomes.
I'm telling you.
That's for sure. He's the full package too. You know, it's not. I think as a young man, he's a guy that you should look up to. And I mean, I'm twice his age, and I look up to him. You know what I mean? Seriously. You know, I look at a guy like that, and I think that's how you're supposed to live your life. You know, so great answer there. Now let me do this before we break out here. My friend Larry Bragg, who is an East High grad, he owns and operates Pay or Apparel. I don't know if you guys ever see it. It's sports gear, and I'm going to get T-shirts for all four of you. I need some T-shirt sizes. These are men's, of course, T-shirt size. Jared?
Medium.
Medium.
Yes, sir.
Santana?
Medium.
Leon?
All doing medium too.
And DEMAJ?
Medium.
Wow. Okay, that's easy. All right, so we want to thank Larry. He's going to be excited about getting you guys T-shirts because he's a big East High guy.
Yes, sir.
And so these are nice shirts too.
Thank you, Mr. Larry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Leary.
Yeah, appreciate you.
That was a blast. I was so excited once we figured out we were going to do this. I was so excited because I went to Southside. I went to East Junior. I better duck when I say this. I did go to Central Dauphin, but most of my best friends went to East. Man, I have a connection to East, and when East High football is good, I'm happy. And I promise you, I'm going to get out to see you guys. Let me thank the sponsors one more time. And before we let you guys, I'm sure you guys are hungry. You probably have some homework. So, Rickabaz Electric, Pay or Apparel, Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial, Wealth Management, Tire Mart, Team PA, AAU Basketball, Tonino's Pizza, Post 272, American Legion, Hoffman Ford, Capital Region Insurance Agency, Modern Imprint, Sam Hartley Decking, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, and Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. Thank you to all those great local businesses for their continued support. So for DEMAJ JALLOH, Leon Parsons, Santana Young, Jared Porter, East High football 3-0, playing at Carlisle this Friday, looking to go 4-0. Thanks, guys, for sitting in with us. I'm Joe Gillaway with Lingelstown Gazette Sports. Thanks to the viewers for watching us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.